You're riding fast on a back road and your engine sounds smooth, but just a mile later, it starts coughing, stops, and your bike dies. That's exactly what happened to me on a solo ride outside Flagstaff. I'd done an oil change the night before, felt confident, but I'd made a rookie mistake, forgot to replace the oil crush washer. Oil slowly leaked out, and I didn't catch it until the engine seized. What should have been a chill weekend turned into a four-figure rebuild. These are the 10 oil change mistakes I've seen that can quietly kill your motorcycle's heart. Let's break. Each one is a silent killer if you're not paying attention. Mistake number 1. Using the wrong type of oil. Let's start with the basics. Not all oil is created equal, and motorcycle engines are not the same as car engines. Your bike likely uses wet clutch technology, where the oil lubricates the engine and the transmission and the clutch. So if you dump in the wrong oil, like car-grade synthetic with friction modifiers, you could wreck your clutch plates. I made this exact mistake on my first Yamaha FZ6. Thought I was upgrading to high-end car oil. Result? Clutch slipped so bad I could barely get out of second gear. I ended up having to replace the entire clutch pack. Lesson: use oil rated JASOMA or MA2. That's the motorcycle standard. Don't freestyle it. Your owner's manual isn't suggesting a grade. It's telling you what your engine needs to survive. Number 2. Skipping the oil filter change. This one baffles me. People change their oil and leave the old filter in. That's like putting clean water into a dirty sponge. It defeats the purpose. The filter traps micrometal, carbon, and combustion junk that your engine constantly sheds. Leave it in, and all that garbage recirculates right back through your engine. Also, don't cheap out. Stick to OEM filters or high-quality names like K and N, High Flow Filtro, or Bosch. I once used a sketchy aftermarket filter that looked close enough in size. It barely sealed, and I lost pressure mid-ride. Always double-check part numbers. And don't forget to prime the filter with fresh oil before installing. It helps with startup lubrication. Number 3. Over-tightening the drain bolt. If I had $1 for every stripped drain plug I've seen, I'd be riding a Ducati Panigale. People assume tight is good, but motorcycles use soft aluminum oil pans. Over-tighten that bolt, and you risk cracking the case or stripping the threads. And now you're looking at helicoiling or full part replacements. Use a torque wrench. Most bikes call for something like 15 to 20 Newton meters on the drain plug. It's a delicate touch, not a gym session. I used to just go by feel until I split the case on an old GS 500. It leaked forever after that. Don't learn that lesson the hard way. Get the torque right and always replace the crush washer. They're designed to deform once and seal tight. Reusing them is just gambling. Number 4. Not warming up the engine first changing oil on a cold bike. Bad idea. Cold oil is thick, slow, and clings to engine walls. That means when you drain it, a ton of sludge and contaminants stay behind. Always run the bike for 5 to 7 minutes before an oil change, just enough to get the oil warm and flowing, but not hot enough to burn your hands. Warm oil drains faster, cleaner, and takes more dirt with it. I skipped this step once thinking, it's just an oil change, and ended up draining out barely half the oil. No joke. 2 weeks later, the oil was already dirty again because of what I left behind. Take the extra 5 minutes. It makes a difference. Number 5. Forgetting to check the oil level after filling. You'd be shocked how many people just pour in oil, close the cap, and call it a day. But motorcycles aren't like cars. They're sensitive to oil levels, and the margin for error is tiny. Too much oil? You risk foaming, pressure spikes, and seal leaks. Too little? You risk metal-on-metal damage in under a minute. After you change the oil and start the engine, always let it idle for a minute. Then shut it down. Let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes and check the sight glass or dipstick. Make sure it's right between the minimum and maximum marks, not at the top. Overfilling is just as dangerous as running dry. One time, I overfilled by just half a quart, and the crank whipped it into foam, blew out a gasket on a long ride. Number 6. Not replacing the oil drain washer, or O-ring. This one's easy to miss, and I learned it the hard way. That tiny crush washer, or O-ring, depending on your bike, under the drain bolt isn't just a spacer, it seals the oil system. Reusing it once might be okay. Twice? You're asking for leaks. I reused one on my Ninja 650 thinking, it's still round, looks fine. And a week later, I found a trail of oil on my garage floor. You might not notice it until your oil light flickers mid-ride. Or worse, when your engine starts knocking. Always replace that washer. They cost less than a coffee, and some bikes even include them in oil change kits. It's such a small part, but it keeps pressure where it belongs and your oil inside the engine, not on your rear tire. Number 7. Overfilling or underfilling the oil. Let me be blunt, this one can destroy your engine fast. Overfilling doesn't give you more protection. What it actually does is cause your crankshaft to churn the oil into foam. That foam, it doesn't lubricate. It overheats, builds pressure, and can force oil past seals or into your airbox. One of my riding buddies learned this the hard way. His air filter soaked in oil, and it choked out the engine on a hot summer ride. On the flip side, underfilling your oil can lead to rapid wear, low pressure, and a seized engine. Motorcycles don't hold much oil to begin with. Some only take 2 quarts, so even a half quart off matters. Always measure after warm-up and shutdown, then check the sight glass or dipstick on level ground. I keep a small funnel and rag nearby every time I top up. Small habit, big insurance. Number 8. Not cleaning around the cap or filter. Before opening, it might seem trivial, but this one matters. Dirt, dust, or grit sitting around your oil cap, filler hole, or filter area can fall straight into the engine when you open it up. Once it's in there, it's circulating through every moving part. Think about that. Tiny pebbles or sand acting like mini grinders on your cams and crankshaft. Before I touch anything, I always take 30 seconds to wipe down the area with a clean rag, or even give it a blast of air. Especially if I've been riding on dusty trails or dirty roads. One guy I knew had tiny metal shavings get into his crankcase because he cracked open a filter right after sanding his garage floor. The engine didn't last another month. A clean engine is a healthy engine. Respect it. Number 9. Not following the service interval. Some riders wait until their oil looks black, smells weird, or starts making noise. By that point, damage is already happening. Motorcycle oil doesn't just lubricate, it cools, cleans, and absorbs contaminants. And unlike cars, bikes run hotter, rev higher, and often have smaller sumps, so oil wears out faster. Always follow the manufacturer's recommended interval, and if you ride hard or in harsh weather, do it sooner. For most bikes, that's between 3,000 to 5,000 miles, or even less for older engines. I change my oil every 3,000 miles or 6 months, whichever comes first. And I track it. One missed change might not kill your engine overnight, but it quietly shortens its life every mile you ride. You don't want to pay for that lesson down the road. Number 10. Rushing the process. This one nearly cost me an engine fire. I was in a rush, trying to beat the rain, changed the oil fast, slapped the filter on, started the bike, and didn't notice the filter was cross-threaded. Within 30 seconds, oil sprayed out, hit the hot exhaust, and started smoking like crazy. I killed the ignition just in time. If I hadn't noticed it, that ride could have ended in flames. Take your time. Let all the old oil drain out completely. Inspect the old filter and gasket. Double check that the new filter is seated right and torqued to spec. Wipe everything down before starting. Then, after startup, check for leaks. Look around the drain plug, the filter, the filler cap. Just because the engine's running doesn't mean the job's done. Motorcycle maintenance is precision work, not a race. You're protecting a high-revving machine that lives on the edge of performance. Don't rush the most critical part of its survival.